What's up? What's up? It's your girl Mocasso, and we are here with episode 6, season 1 of the Secret Life of the NFT Artist. And as you may or may not know, this week we dropped our first Where to Earn physical to digital raw apparel, the Galaxy 3.0 tie-dye t-shirt. So amazing, so beautiful, has so many awesome perks. If you haven't gotten yours yet, just know I do make these myself. It's a black t-shirt. I use some reverse tie-dye, some 3M reflective material that I heat press on it, and paint, and just created an entire experience that is literally out of this world. So if you haven't gotten yours, make sure you order it now. I have been working with my collectors club. Once you do buy it, you do get added to an exclusive lock chat in our Discord called the Collectors Club, where I've been asking for some opinions on their feedback. They will also get to help with our next piece because these pieces are only available during the month of January. Each month, I will be dropping a new piece. So you can only get this t-shirt during the month of January. I have asked them what they think about the shipping. I do like to keep things consistent, especially starting out and thinking about the future. I know I'm only going to drop 25 teas every month. I know it's going to get bigger, the more we continue to do it. So what I've really been kind of thinking is doing batches of 10. So I'm thinking, if I sell 10 shirts, in a week and then have mail it out the second week, that would give me good time to do shipping every 2 weeks, basically. So, and putting that out there to the Collectors Club, they did give good feedback saying that that would be okay. So, those are some of the perks with getting the t shirt. You also get an Alana Times the Galaxy 3.0 t-shirt. Me and Stella collaborated, and she actually created the digital version with one of the patterns I pulled off of it. You can also see one of the patterns here on our display. I did make 9 patterns. I think I'll keep making 9 patterns. I am into supreme mathematics, so 9 is an awesome number to show completion, and that things are going to come from that. So really excited with the 9 patterns being created, seeing Alana wearing it on a digital t-shirt and modeling it. Literally the best affiliate program ever. So definitely going to keep diving into that, seeing how I can, keep using the digi models to help, promote and push our t-shirts, because again, I had mentioned before how I would love to include digi models and workshops. And again, if we can just continue to include them, that's our new influencers. This is the new world. So just being able to use all these tools that are in the new world in order to show others how to use it, y'all know that's the goal. That's what I'm doing now by creating it and giving an example on how we're moving into this, new space. Yes, sure. Others that buy the t-shirt will model it as well. But now it's hard to top a digi model with that cool effect. So, and all those NFTs are stakeable. You can stake the Alana times Galaxy 3.0 t-shirt. You can stake that as well. And for the month of January, for everyone that's helping with launching Raw Season 1, I have 4 different things you can do to earn a token of appreciation. And I do have some posts that I've actually been posting about all of this. So if you are not in the Discord, which I think would be far-fetched if you're listening to, but if you are, you aren't, it's in our Discord under the airdrop section. So there's a whole channel called airdrop where you can see the 4 things you can do. 1 is use the theme, 2 is collaborate, 3 is support, and 4 is big projects. I did talk more about that all in the chat, so if you want to know about it, go check it out. And even on our last community call, where I actually went into each section and showed a glimpse of the token of appreciation. So if you do support, if you do anything to support this movement, make sure you drop your wallet address in the chat, and I will get the token of appreciation minted as well. For that, I am thinking about doing like mass mints on the weekends as well. We do have our community call set for every Friday, so I'm thinking Fridays would be a good time to do that as well, whether it's before the community call or after, just so that that can be our payday almost. And so just kind of going more into what I've been going through this week in order to prepare for this launch for this new year. So let's backtrack a little bit. When I had this t-shirt, one of the things I really wanted to do, I had the t-shirt made, I had the vision, I've been making all this content, especially for the past month or two, preparing for this moment. So one of the things I've noticed is I've been making a lot of content, but I really wanted to put it out efficiently, effectively. I wanted to put it out so that my audience is growing, they're feasting, they're digesting the information I'm putting out there and not getting lost and kind of like, oh, that's what you got going on, because those are cool times when people finally understand the vision in full. But I want to be putting out my content that's forkable so that it catches your attention and gives you that push to go see, the full picture yourself. So one of the things is I met with the amazing Alma K. She has her own realm progression, and the conversation was really great. So again, it was just a brain dump on how I should be putting out this information. And one of the things that was really amazing that came from it was how we determined the audience. And of course, everyone knows, oh, you have to know your audience, who are you selling to, and this and the third. Cool, but where are we selling now is the biggest question, right? Once you've determined your audience, and again, that audience, especially in Web3, comes down to, are you looking for more of that traditional market and onboarding them and trying to walk them through that conversion step? Or are you looking more for Web3 natives that you want to just become a part of your project? Now, for me, you guys know that's a little tricky because my answer is both, right? But the primary audience that I'm looking for is the latter. The people that are already familiar with Web3 and ready to start transforming their businesses to digital tokens, NFTs, non-fungible tokens, that non-fungible aspect that can come with your fungible aspect, that whole part of bringing these two forces together. So once I determined, my audience is more in that Web3 core where we're getting the creators, the educators, those already got their pinky toe in the Web3 rabbit hole. Those kind of people are more so my audience, but also traditional because I want them coming along too. So we figured out my main audience would be on Twitter compared to Instagram, because now once you figure out, okay, if it's traditional versus Web3, now that helps you figure out, are you going to be more on Twitter or more on Instagram? So the answer is Twitter. Why? Because you see that natural flow, that natural communication that's happening between people on Twitter. You can post something and people are liking it, people are retweeting it, people can comment, people are going right to buy. And most importantly, people already have crypto. People are already familiar with how to swap the tokens and get into this and get into that, already familiar with seeing other projects coming. With Instagram, because it's so traditional, Web3 is like a hot topic. You only see a few people that talk about it, and that's all they talk about. But that marketplace for Web3 isn't all the way there yet. And I say yet because it's coming. They've already announced that they have their NFT marketplace coming, and we know Meta owns Instagram. So it's all going to be coming together, which is why I haven't abandoned it in totality, but my primary focus is Twitter, and then I'll just be using Instagram more so as like my clean marketplace to just keep displaying what I'm showing. And it's crazy, I've archived all the pictures and I've only posted 2 before on the raw apparel on Instagram, but I've archived those, and I want to start putting out, our t-shirt stuff. But again, I'm still in that point where it's like, okay, well, should I have some kind of color theme or some kind of organization? I usually go for like a checkerboard look. So especially because I'm into patterns and also black and white, I feel like I get a really cool effect when I stick with the checkerboard. But one of the other things that came really cool from meeting with Alma was having more of a natural flow, especially when it comes to Twitter. When you get on Instagram, you go and have one of these marketing courses and they teach you how to, make all your templates on Canva and reuse them and plan it out for 30 days and post 2-3 times a day and make your reels and, keep it aesthetic looking, all that for Instagram, which is cool. You see that 50-50 when you get on somebody's page and you see that, it has a great effect that they put a lot of time in. But one thing I've noticed that my husband always points out is those people that have hundreds of thousands of followers and that are putting out educational, good content, they usually aren't following those flows because you're just sharing it as it's coming along, right? And if you're just sharing as it's coming along, it's kind of hard to follow those aesthetics because those things don't fit aesthetically. So one of the amazing things Alma suggested was creating that content and creating a folder for all of that content to go so that you can just pull from that folder and post what works. And I think that was such an amazing tool that she gave. I created my own folder and my photos even to top it off. So now all the patterns I'm making, all the pictures that I'm taking, all the inspiration that I'm screenshotting on my phone, all this stuff that's going into Raw Season 1. And this month is now just in a folder. So when I have to go in my photos, in my pictures to say, oh, what do I want to post, or what am I thinking, or what do I want to, create from here, I have all of it right there in a folder. I can create more content at any time because I have so many pictures. I have so much inspiration and can just keep creating what's necessary at that moment. And that is so important because going into this new year, scheduling is important and balancing is important. And one of the things that I found is really key to that balance is still letting it be natural. Sometimes I get really hard on myself for not being consistent when it comes to setting my schedules because I can go down to the hour, down to the minute, down to the T on what I want my schedule to be like. But I'm also a natural flowing person, so I don't try to force things. And when life happens, you got to deal with what you got to deal with. So taking that natural flow and opening myself up to that more along with my proactiveness and being prepared is a game changer, because at first I thought it was one or the other, like, oh, you're just flowing and going with the flow, or you're the opposite and you're prepared and you're not flowing. But there's actually a natural flow where you have that current flowing under you and you got that arc that you done built flowing on top. So thinking about it more like that has really changed that mindset with being open to that flow, but also just being prepared, like I said, building that arc, building the tools that I have so that as the flow is coming, I have whatever tools necessary to go with that current, because the currents change. If you're on a boat, it could get windy. You could come up on a wave. You can come up on a whirlpool, all kind of stuff. So just, again, being prepared for whatever we're coming up to. That's what's important. And that was one of the biggest things I took from that. So rather than having, a normal schedule where it can be a little monotonous and not authentic also, because that is where you get when it comes down to scheduling and just doing this, it becomes not authentic, right? And that's not something you want to be building when you're building something like a Web3 fashion label or an NFT or an ecosystem. It's all about involving that community, involving everyone, others around you. And it works for me because I'm super considerate. I love connecting and networking with others. Like, that is my passion, especially when it's helping others in that way and others helping me. Like, I am here for that, feedback and sharing of resources. So just keeping it natural, just letting all those things flow. Super excited to see what flows in this year, what overflows this year, and many more to come. So that has been the Galaxy 3.0. Moving forward, we did release that again on Saturday, and great to say we have sold 4 so far. So exciting. Now, we haven't sold any more since the first day, but I will say, even having those sales on the first day was truly magical. It's such a great feeling when you're putting work in things and then you do get a little recognition. I know you can't expect to have that instant gratification. That's not what I'm asking for. I did bask in that moment for a second, like, oh wow, what if it goes live and all 25 sell out? Think about it, envision it, feel it, so that I know it's coming in the future. But then the release comes the next day, and of course, you guys know we're on the Polygon network, and Emma's helping, and she's like, "Oh, the contracts are having some issues at 1 o'clock," and I'm like, "Oh." Reality hit you at that point. Like, things are still going to happen. And at that point, I said, you know what? I'm not about to stress. It doesn't matter if it's not dropped at 111, because again, that was me just, setting a tone on, okay, we're going to have some times. We're going to play with supreme mathematics. We're going to, you know, flow with the flow. And when that's how the flow started happening, it's like, okay, well, let's keep flowing. We're prepared for it all. Emma was able to drop it on the fashion aspect of Digital X compared to the drip store to still get it launched quicker than necessary, and we did get those 4 sales, so that was great. And now we're on the drip site. And I did talk more about that in the Discord, so I don't want to harp on those aspects too much. But again, things aren't always going to go as planned. So just being prepared for whatever, appreciating what does happen. Like I said, I'm super grateful for the sales I did get. The first person that actually bought it, I don't know who they are. It's not someone who I don't want to say I don't know who they are, because I do know who they are. From like Twitter and Digital X, because it's someone who I've encountered before, and I've gone on their Twitter page like when I first followed them, and I thought all the pictures they posted was so cool because it was like mushrooms and horses and greenery, and I'm just such a nature person. Like, I have a tapestry myself of just like a water and grass and animals, like a sheep and a horse, and I have that over my window because it's like when I look at my window, those are the kind of things that I want to see. So it was actually really cool when that was a person who bought the t-shirt first that I would have never thought twice about, or thought was, kind of waiting till 1 o'clock p.m. PST to get the t-shirt. And again, super involved when I asked about, oh, what do you guys think for the t-shirt? They gave their feedback that it would be okay to, go with the 2 weeks if that's what I was thinking as well. So, and it was funny, one of my friends, Tiny, that also got the t-shirt, at first she was saying how she felt bad because she wanted to buy the first one. And I'm like, honestly, and everything that I do, it is always someone completely random that I would have never guessed that always supports first. Like, literally, that's always my luck. So I told her, just consider it my luck compared to hers, because it's just one of those things that God always does to assure me. People are watching that I don't even know is watching. People are rooting for me that I don't even know are rooting for me, and that the universe is supporting, and that I'm on the right path. And that's, again, all I'm trying to make sure that I'm doing going into this next year. I don't want to be wasting any time. I don't want to be, getting further away from my path. I want to be focused, be aligned, and continue networking and meeting those that are going to help bring these visions to life. Because when that's possible, once my vision is brought to life, I'm able to continue to help others' visions come to life. So going into this new year, especially if you guys may have known, I've kind of alluded to the Grand Life Network, which is something kind of like this that I started last year. Again, just trying to bring different business women together, and you learn a lot from that. And I just want to put all the lessons I learned from last year into this year to make sure again, we're moving with purpose. And I learned you have to put into yourself in order to pour into others. So just super excited. I have some awesome goals set for this year. One of the biggest things, even going off of that, how I just sold 4 t-shirts, is I'm selling 25 t-shirts a month, So I really am using that to give me a salesman edge to say, hey, I've got 25 t-shirts and I'm going to work on my marketing and salesman skills to start getting these t-shirts gone. And when I break it down, it goes down to saying, okay, well, I can sell 5 to 6 t-shirts a week, and that's how I sell all of them. I know I need to start joining more Twitter spaces. Right now, a lot of times you guys will see I will pop in and usually try to support others that are having events. Even if I can't show up visually, I will always try to be there on the audio aspect so that I can listen in, soak in what others are sharing, be that person in the audience, rooting for them as well, and absorbing anything that they have to share, because again, those are some of the important things in life. So understanding that I do have to start showing up more, again, for myself in these spaces and pushing my product. Usually, again, I'm in these spaces just like, oh, I want to talk about other people and I want to talk about what they're doing. But when I show up in these spaces, I have to show up for raw apparel. I have to show up for the raw realm so that all of us are making it. I have to show up for Mocasso so that my family is making it. I have to continue to show up for myself so that myself is aligned, and just showing up in these places with a goal, with a mission, has really, again, shifted that gear as well, because it goes from just being that support and wanting to uplift others to now wanting to uplift myself and get our message out, get our vision out, so that we're attracting those who have similar visions and similar skills that are going to keep making us all better. So that's what I've been working on this past week, aligning all those goals, getting ready, moving into the next week. Yesterday was so busy for the new year. I'm telling y'all, New Year's was Saturday, and it's been a busy year ever since. But one of the things I keep saying is I'm not going to complain about anything I have to do. I'm not a big complainer anyways in general. But, once things start adding up and you have this and you have this and then things happen, you kind of get like I'm getting a little flustered. I got this going on. But, I'm, again, leaving that in 2021. One of the amazing things, yesterday I was in the sacred space, which is every Sunday with Keeping the Distance round. And she said, whenever you have a negative thought, leave it on the side of the road and watch it get smaller on the horizon as you drive away. And that's something I really took away from that conversation, that Sacred Sunday, because we can't get away from those negative thoughts. We don't have too much control when those random thoughts start popping up, right? So all we can do is control what we do with those thoughts. Leave it on the side of the road, keep going. So it's been super busy this year, but I'm appreciative of it all. Yesterday, I went to 2 round meetings, one in Entourage when they had like a bring your own filter. Super cool, super fun. I love their realm as well. Pioneering this whole digital space for us all. Super amazing to work with them. Then the sacred space and the Keeping the Distance, where we have guided meditation and talked about everything they're doing in that realm, which is, again, amazing. The vibes, the vibrations, the missions and intentions, truly amazing. And then fast forward, I had a one-on-one session bringing someone into Web3, Fourth Industrial Revolution, getting them caught up what the heck is happening so they can start preparing and making plans of their own, because you guys know I do have those one-on-one sessions as like an intro to crypto kind of thing to help people get into the space, figure out how to move in here securely, and how to start doing research. In my whole one-on-one intro to crypto course, I'm not a spoon feeder. I'm not going to tell you follow me so I could tell you what coin I'm buying, so I could tell you what coin I'm selling. No, we're going over globalization, the Fourth Industrial Revolution, how you will have nothing and be happy, and all these crazy things that are happening around us, so that you can start seeing what's happening and using it to prepare you for whatever you see yourself doing in the future. Because no matter what it is, you have to be prepared. So that's what I do in my one-on-one sessions. And then I even still have my Grand Life network where we are going to be meeting up once a month and talk about goals, right? That's something big we do there, and share our goals every Monday. We have a book club as well where we read books every other week. This month we're actually reading The Fourth Industrial Revolution by Klaus Schwab, something I talk about all the time. And I'm like, nah, all of y'all in crypto now, so let's make sure all of us really read this book, right? It's kind of like knowing the rules to the game. And not necessarily the rules, because I'm not saying they have to be, but at least know what you're playing against or playing with, or whatever however you see it, but nonetheless, we've gone to history class and we've learned about the first industrial revolution, the second industrial revolution, and the third, and they have hard copy books talking about the fourth. So if you get ahead, then you're always on time. So, just teaching others how to, again, be prepared to be ahead so that they're always on time. That was really cool and a great way to even revamp the Grand Life Network and see this is how we're going into 2022. Because again, lots of things on the agenda now this year. Raw Realm is my baby, so of course has majority of my attention, well, aside from my real baby who's 3 and has all my attention, but Raw Realm I sneak in on the side, and then Grand Life Network on the extra side. So again, being able to just figure out how I can balance all of these, give all of these the attention that they need so that they can continue to blossom, has been an amazing way to spend this week. And I've also decided for the Secret Life of the NFT artist, I am going to try to move it more to like 20 to 30 minutes. At first, I was trying to do it like 15 to 20, but I feel like I was talking too fast, trying to, rush what I was trying to get out. So trying to slow it down, because that's also one of the last things that I'm shooting for this month to wrap it all up. I want to not things down, because I'm all for the pedal to the metal, we moving forward. But for myself, for my human flesh being, I think sometimes literally my being, like light moves faster than time. I think sometimes my being moves faster than reality, because I talk too fast, I walk too fast, I move too fast. I'm not really into having patience when it comes to things, just going. I rather have them done and, just moving. So taking a breath, slowing things down, living in the moment, trusting in God, trusting in my preparedness, trusting that I am aligned and that it's no need to rush, enjoying that process, and just sharing it as I can. That's something that I'm also working on. And I appreciate you all for listening. I will be back again next Sunday. I do again apologize for this being a little late and coming up on a Monday. But yesterday, after I had all those meetings, I was like, man, I got everything done. Went to sleep and woke up this morning like, oh, crud. I didn't drop my podcast yesterday. So I definitely wanted to come to you guys and let you know, hey, sometimes it happens, but give yourself that grace, let things flow, and just be open to that flow. So thanks for listening. Peace and blessings. Talk to y'all next week.